The other day, one of my great friends came to me, Tamas, with a question. He wanted to incorporate an effect into his new template that looks something like this. As you can see, you just scroll down and images are, I don't know, appearing with this mask effect. They're just masked in. And he basically initially created this with an override. He created an override with ChatGPT, and he was just having a little trouble with it because it wasn't really working properly. And I was like, Tamas, why don't you just make this effect with the no-code features that we have inside of Framer? So in this video, that's what I'm going to be teaching you, how you can create effects that don't really look possible. You might be like, oh, that's not something I can do. I probably have to write code in order to, achieve that. But in reality, you can do a bunch of things in Framer. So yeah, that's what we're going to learn about. By the way, check out Tamas on the Framer Marketplace. He has some cool templates. But yeah, my name is Nandi. This is Framer University, and let's get started. So yeah, when he came to me with this problem, I was like, okay, this is a great topic to discuss in a video, because I think you can learn a bunch from this. Because in order to create something like this, we have to use a technique that can be used for basically anything. So with this technique, we can animate almost any property when a certain element comes into view. Because if we think about it, what do we want to do? We want to make sure that when a certain element comes into the view, it does some sort of animation. Maybe it just fades in, maybe it like flips in, it does some crazy effect, or maybe something a little bit more simpler. But yeah, basically we just want to make sure that we animate when we just scroll it into the view. You can actually do something like this with Framer in a really simple way. If you just select an element like an image and you go to effects and you apply some sort of scroll animation, let's say. And it will trigger when the layer comes into view, and you can sort of like just set up the enter effect and the exit effect. So it will come in from 0 opacity, you can change the scale, rotation, offset, blah blah blah. But the problem here is that you're limited to these properties. You can scale it, you can rotate, skew, offset, but where is mask? You cannot mask it here, right? Or if you want to animate any other property, let's say the corner radius, when it comes into view, maybe we want to go from 0 corner radius to 100 corner radius when it comes into view. How can we animate those properties? And that's why we're going to be talking about a different technique that is not the scroll animation effect from the effects panel here on the right. What we're going to do instead is we're going to use components in order to create two variants, and we're going to animate between those variants with the scroll variant effect. So I'm going to walk you through step by step how to set this up, and I'm going to also then show you how this can be applied to different use case, let's say like playing a video when the video actually comes into view. But again, this can be applied to almost anything. Here's the Frame project in front of me. Make sure to go down to the description, get the remix link, and go to the starter page on the left panel, because this is basically what I'm seeing right here. You're going to see the same thing, and you can start building with me. So let's go. We have the image. That's where we start from, right? And as I mentioned, we just have to turn this into components. So in order to do that, I'm not going to turn the actual image into a component. I'm going to wrap it in an additional frame. I'm going to turn that into a component. So I can just right click, add a frame. As you can see, this wraps it in a frame. You can see it on the left layers panel. Now this frame wraps the image. And I can just name this mask image. Now that we have this, we are ready to turn this into a component. So we can right click here and create a component. This is the component canvas if you don't know it already. This is where we set up the different variants. I can just select this, create a new variant. This is how the component canvas works. And this is where we want to set up the two states that we're going to have in this animation. The first one is going to be the primary, which is something we're going to call out, because this is when it's not in the view and it's kind of like waiting to come in. And then we're going to have an in variant when it animates in. So on the out, what do we want to do? Well, in this example, we want to mask it down, and that's basically it. I also scaled it a little bit, so I basically added scale on the right panel. So if you select the image within, on the right panel, you're going to find transforms, and you can just simply add the scale and maybe scale it down to 0.95. Perfect. So now the next step is actually selecting this image again, and on the right panel, going to styles and then adding mask, which is already added, which is a little bit weird, but if it's not added, you can just add it here. So now you can see that we have created a mask right here. Well, I don't know if you remember what I showed you, like the demo that I already created. It wasn't a linear mask, it was very sharp as it was animating it in. And this is something that Tamas also like messaged me with, like, oh, it's actually a little hard making this mask in order to get it to like a sharp edge. But it's not that hard. All we have to do, the little trick, is making sure that we don't have just 2 points, but we have 3, not 2, 3. So we just click here, and this point here has to be next to this point, which is 0%. So as you can see, this point on the very top, 0%, making like it means that it's not going to be visible there. And then here, this point has to be 100%. And so if 0% and 100% is right next to each other, it will result a very sharp edge. And so all we have to do is make sure that when it animates, they always stay together, right? So first we're gonna, on the out variant, we're gonna move these points down. So I'm gonna move this down here and move this down here as well, making sure that they are almost right on top of each other. And then we're gonna create a new variant by clicking here. As you can see, a new variant has been created, and we can just call this in. And here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to first of all scale it up back to scale 1, and then I'm going to select the mask, and I'm going to play around with the points. So I'll move this point up first, and then this point. I'm making sure again that they are right on top of each other to have that sharp edge as it animates. And now that we have this, we can also kind of preview how the effect will look on the canvas when we're on the website by just going here and previewing. But we're going to see that nothing really happens because we have to set up a little interaction just for like testing. So we're going to connect with this little thingy right here to the in from the out, and this will happen on appear. So when we preview the out, it will transition over to in to kind of show us the effect that we have. So this is how it looks. Maybe we want to have a little delay here so it doesn't play immediately, so you can see a little bit better. So this is how it looks right now, which is not bad, but I feel like it's quite fast. So what we're going to do in order to change how it plays out is we're going to select the primary variant, and on the right panel we're going to find transition. This property controls how we are transitioning between these different variants and how these different changes play out. So right now it's a spring transition, really fast. You can also preview it here. I prefer doing something like an ease curve here in this case. So I'm just gonna customize it here with these little handles. And I'm gonna also bump the time up to maybe 0.9 or something, or even 1 second. And we can again preview this here. It will be much smoother. It will look much better. Let's preview this. And as you can see, it immediately looks much better. And as you can see also the mask is super sharp. So there is no linear gradient or whatever, which is pretty good. So now we can remove this appear effect because, yeah, essentially we don't really need this anymore. We just needed it for previewing the effect and making sure it looks great. And now that we have this, we can go back to our canvas and we can start thinking about how to animate these variants when the element comes into view. But before we do that, let me just switch the variant here on the right panel to in so we can actually see it on the canvas. So the problem is that, okay, we have this here and I can just copy it to my clipboard. By the way, let me just start keystroke where you can see my shortcuts. So I can copy this with Command and C and then paste it here and here as well. And I want to have different images in these little columns. But how do I do that? Because now with this component, I cannot really change the image on the right panel. I can only change the variant. So we forgot to do one thing that allows us to do that. We have to go back to the component, and on the primary variant, really important, on the primary, we have to select the image And on the right panel, we have to find the fill property, and we have to turn this into a variable. It's that simple. So we just turn it into an image variable, and this will basically expose this property on the right panel for each of these component instances, allowing us to change this image per instance. So this first one will be the little bottle, but I can go back to my browser and just go to Visual Electrics kind of like inspiration site, or I don't even know what this page is, but we have some cool images here. So I'm just gonna copy some of these, and back in Framer, I'll just select the image property and paste them in here. So maybe we're gonna get this one as well and paste it on the last component. So now if we play this or just preview it, nothing really happens, because we have to make sure that we tell Framer that we want to animate between these two variants when they come into view. So to get that, we have to just select the component, and actually we can select all of them because the same effect has to be applied to all of them. So we selected them, and on the right panel we click Effects, and what we need here is Scroll Variant. Scroll Variant effect is an effect that can be used to switch a component's variant based on our scroll position. So Scroll Variant is added. The trigger will be Layer in View because I want to make sure when each of these specific component instances come into view, they animate from the out variant to the in variant. And that's it, like it's that simple. So in theory, if we now preview this and we start scrolling down, as you can see, it works perfectly. And since we have replay set to yes, they will always replay when we scroll back and back to the top and then back down. So replay is yes. But if you set it to no, it's just going to play once, and then it will just stay on the in variant. And again, what makes this solution really great is since we create a component where we have two variants, we're not limited to these scroll animation properties that we would normally have on the scroll animation effect here, like opacity, scale, rotate, skew, offset, because we just handle these as component variants, and we have the little image here. And as you can see, we were able to add the mask here, we were able to animate that. We could also animate the radius, so actually let's do that too. Like maybe we have 0 radius on the out, and then it's gonna have a larger radius on the in, so we're gonna also animate the radius. We could do like animation on any of these properties, like add border, shadow, whatever. And I think that this is the thing that makes this solution so cool, because you just get full control over what you're animating, and you can literally turn any of these properties into a scroll animation, or you can change any of these properties with like a scroll animation or on scroll, or when these elements come into view more specifically. So let's check it out now. As you can see now, the actually it's not correct because I have to set the image on the primary back to 0 radius, and I have to make sure that the radius is only set to a larger value here on the in, and I'm going to actually make it a little bit larger so maybe we can see the effect a little bit better. And as you can see, actually it's not that visible, so but you can see that a little bit like the radius is like moving, but yeah, maybe this wasn't the best example, but if you pay close attention, it's actually visible right here. But what else I wanted to show you, as I promised, I want to show you how you can, for example, play a video when this video comes into view. So I will go to the iPhone 15 Pro kind of like recreation. You can find this on the Framer University site. You just search for iPhone 15 Pro website rebuild, and you're going to find it here. So here, as you can see, if I just preview this, there are some videos that play. For example, this one right here. And of course, when we land on the website and we just load the website here, we don't really want to start playing these videos, because by the time we reach them, they're going to be already like, at, I don't know, 50% progress or something like that. We want to make sure that they start when I come here. So to achieve this, what I did, as you can see, I just created a component which is called product video. And you can see on the right panel, it has not playing and playing variant. So the same technique is used. This video component is just wrapped in a component. The video component just allows you to add any video to your website. And it has a playing property. On the not playing, we set it to no. And on the playing, we set it to yes. And basically, that's the only override we do here on the playing variant. So again, if you really think about this, I don't know, like a whole bunch of things becomes, possible because of this technique. And so again, same technique, you go to the right panel, select the component, scroll variant effect is applied, a layering view trigger, and from not playing to playing, and it will work perfectly. As you can see, it just plays when we reach that point, and I don't know why these images are no longer loading, but let's ignore that for now. So yeah, I think that's it for this video. I really hope that it was helpful and it taught you something about Framer, and hopefully you will be able to create better websites with this. Again, shout out to Tamas for giving me the idea for this video. Again, check out his templates. I'm gonna leave a link in the description. And yeah, if you wanna get more resources for Framer, more knowledge, more components, more stuff that you can just use in your website and use to become a better Framer designer, make sure to check out framer.university. I have a bunch of resources there, fully free. You can use them on commercial projects, personal projects, anywhere. So yeah, if you have any questions, by the way, regarding this or related to Framer, make sure to drop a comment. And yeah, that's for this video. Make sure to like it, subscribe for more, and I'm gonna see you in the next one.